Greetings, gentlemen. This is OTR over in Corgi, and it's the deep hours, couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd do a little recording. This is being done at wonderful 240 resolution, so it's not your computer, it's the video. Why? Because this will upload at rapid speed. It'll be less data for me and less data for you. It's the better way. It's a talking video. So we're going to talk about my love and affinity for beer, and the sad realization that I'm getting old and I just don't have the time to enjoy my life like I used to. So, like, link, and subscribe. You know, when I look back at my life, I mean, people say, well, did you drink too much back in the day? Some would say yes, others would say no. I won't lie, there's times I was a drunken asshole. I think it's part of being a man. There's times that you're just an asshole. Let's be real about it. But when it comes to drinking, I've met beer snobs, I've met fucking trailer type of people, and I am not just a consumer, but a connoisseur when it comes to some beers. You know, it's like, for instance, people are like, what do you like as far as a blonde lager or a lawn mowing beer, you know? I'm like, fucking hams. Why hams? Because I just don't like Pabst for no real reason other than it just, I remember when Pabst was affordable, and then all the fucking yuppies and hipsters showed up and basically turned it into the new, you know, fucking cheap bar beer, which raised the price by $3 to $4 for a 30-pack. I'm like, fuck that. Hams is the same damn beer, basically, with slightly more alcohol, I believe. And it's $3 or $4 cheaper. So you get this 30-pack. Malt liquor, people are like, oh, I won't drink malt liquor. Yeah, I'll drink malt liquor. I like malt liquor because it gets the job done. Malt liquor, in my mind, is like that slutty woman that knows how you like to fuck. You know, she really does down and dirty shit. She just knows exactly how you like it. And you might even have some regrets later. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have been fucking with that chick. But she's a little crazy and shit. But, you know, she's got a she's a fucking hangover to some degree. But she knows exactly what you like. And it's like, malt liquor just does the job at a discount price. You know, like $5 and you're there. maybe now it's like 6 to 7 because of fucking, hey, inflation from the Obama era, and now Trump just bailing all these non-essential workers, and even the Bush era too, like raise the price of everything. But yeah, back in the day, it used to be $5 to freedom. You know, 3 cans of Hurricane High Grav. What about ice beer? Oh yeah. When I was a garbage man, get off work, it was a day cab job, so rear end loader, you know, work hard, deal with some asshole people, deal with a lot of cool people, mostly cool people, and then asshole coworkers, and you like just name the beers. Okay, this is the bitch at that stop there. It's the fucking office bitch. This is the asshole dude in the shop, and usually the last beer was never leave a soldier behind. Yeah, I had a lot of good times, man. Fucking living in the battle van. That was a GMC value van that I converted into a apartment on wheels, had a shower stall put into it. You know, I built the whole thing inside. And it was like, you know, like it was built by, out of pallet boards and fucking just wood. You know, I had to buy a little of the wood, found some of the wood, and built the interior. And it was basically how I didn't pay rent. I just parked somewhere in town, and I'd park and just go to bed wherever, and then I'd just get up before the fucking sun rose. And there's some places I would drink and other places I wouldn't, you know, because some places were a little more, the cop's going to show up or some shit. There's some places I go because I knew I could drink there, like the Sand Ship. This big old fiberform boat that you would press together. Huge thing, like yacht size. Well, not yacht, but, you know, like big enough to live off size fiberform, and it had been there for so long that the supports were starting to rot out, and there were like alder trees, like 25 foot tall, or probably tall, 25 foot tall. Let's go with that. That were, and then some bigger ones in the back of the lot, but that were literally starting to grow up around it and around everything. So you just like drive into this place, park, and I was kind of one of those crazy dude who fucking lives there occasionally. Like, I would move every night. But, you know, the glory of it was is that you'd open up the slider door like a UPS van and just fucking whip out the dick, fucking piss all over the ground and shit. And actually, there was a green moss that started growing where I pissed consistently. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, that's me, man. Nitrogen. I'd take the fucking bottles and throw them into the shrubbery. And, you know, this is like, you know, blackberries, wild blackberries and shit, and fucking, like, grass and stuff. And once or twice a year, I'd walk out there and pick up all the cans. You know, because, like, you know, obviously they were well out of the piss range, so it's one of those things where they were down the hill. But then I'd throw all the cans away and shit. I had a garbage truck, so I'd just throw them in the back of the rear end loader. But, you know, it was a different era of my life. I'd just get off work, listen to fucking the AM radio, like CBC, listening to the world news and shit. You know, drinking my sixer. If it was cold, I had a wood stove, like with a glass door, in the battle van. I still have the battle van. It's over there in my house, like beside the state. I refuse to get rid of it because I could always just park that somewhere else. I could use it as an apartment at my house. I could rent out all 3 of the rooms and then just live in the van and be like, yeah, someone else can pay my fucking bills. But, yeah, I'd sit there and make a fire in there. And I found, you know, I used to cut firewood, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to buy Jiffy logs. It's so much quicker. Like, not Jiffy, but the Econo logs you can buy for $1 a piece at the fucking local wood store. It's tight, man. It's good times. Then there's the fine beers. I love stout. Love stout beer. And I'm not, you know, people like Guinness. Nah, fuck Guinness. Extra stout Guinness is okay. You know, it's not horrible, but it's not great. Chef Stout was pretty good. I haven't seen it in years. Honestly, my personal favorite in the Northwest is Obsidian. It is a 5-something% beer, but it's so fucking smooth. I think it's 5 or 6, but it is so goddamn smooth. And it's just got, it's like a chocolate, it's like a chocolate coffee stout. I don't know if it's so, it doesn't, I don't know if there's so much coffee in it, but it's just barely a little bit, like, it's so fucking perfect. Which was only surpassed by one beer. I found this over there in Wisconsin. It was it Central Waters, was it Satin Solitude Stout. It has like a fucking crane on it or some shit. It is 7 point something over there. It's damn near 8% alcohol, and it is absolutely as smooth as Obsidian. It was so fucking good. Like, I gotta admit, even on a diet, every once in a while I see a 6-pack of that. I'm like, oh, I got enough time. I'm not delivering this load for a while. I'm gonna go find me a place and sit out on a log and with the dog and, you know, let him run around the grass. I'm gonna go drink me some fucking beers. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. And you know why? Because I'm a fucking man, dude. I work way too much. You know, I need something for me, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't smoke weed. I can enjoy a cigar and have a good 6-pack. And that shit really hits the spot. I even did a test. I took fucking, like, I got some saltines and stuff, and I tested different beers. And I was like, wow, this is really the shit. I mean, there's one beer, it gives me gas, but it's so fucking good. It's Belching Beaver peanut butter stout. It's only like 5-something% alcohol, so you pound a fucking can of malt liquor to get you kind of tipsy, you know, like that, or you drink a 40-0. And then you just sip that fucking good beer. And yes, you will have a wicked hangover from that combination, but it's so fucking good. And the beautiful spot to get to. And this is where I kind of like, these days, I just don't have the fucking time. To where I want to keep it sacred. And I know that's weird. People are like, what do you mean sacred? You know, when you get to that wonderful place of drunkenness or high where it's just like you're functional, everything's a little beautiful, you're sitting here just enjoying a nice cool evening, the sun's setting, the stars are coming out, there's a nice kind of mild breeze, the world is fucking perfect for just a little while, and you don't have to fucking deal with shit for just, I don't know, a day or two, and it's good, everything's good. I aim for that. I try to avoid the way, you know, where it's like, hey man, I'm just drinking to fucking be zonked out. And I'll admit, there's some good times you get zonked out and you're playing video games, you're drinking some malt liquor, and you're playing like Skyrim or fucking, playing something on the DS or something like that. I know I need to get a Switch, but it's just like, I've heard they're going to make the Switch Pro, and I'm like, I'd rather get the advanced version rather than have the fucking, you know, buy the lesser version. Plus, there's just going to be more games I can get on discount after, you know, the new systems come out. But this is the thing about it. When you don't have the time to really enjoy something, it just kind of ruins it. It takes the beauty away. Not to mention, damn, you're 40. You know, you get a little, you drink. Let's say you have some stuff with some chili powder, or you eat a spicy Italian hero sub. And by the way, I fucking love those things if you do them right, where you can buy you in a Walmart sub and you doctor it up. That's still going to be a fucking gut bomb. That is a gut bomb in itself. And then you add on, like, alcohol on that, and your body's just like, oh, start having a little, like, heartburn action. And you're like, no, I don't want to deal with that. And even if it was just the alcohol, like a good, 6-pack of stout, I'll be damned if I have the fucking time for it like I used to. And that kind of does bug me out, I gotta be honest. Because I feel like if you're gonna work as much as you do as a trucker, you should have the fucking time to go out and just at least decompress. But once freight really starts moving, it just doesn't stop moving. This is part of the inspiration to probably buy a truck eventually. Because I'm thinking about it, because I can afford to buy a truck, brand new or any of that shit. It would be nothing for me. But the thing of it is like, when I look at it, it's like, people go, what's the motivation to buy a truck? Well, for one thing, those 4 months for freight rates are probably shitty as fuck. It's not going to drive. That's the time I could actually take the time, hop in the van. If it's cold up north, head down south. And, it's shitty out, so we're going to go out and fucking head to the desert and go canoeing or something, or head to another country like the Philippines or some shit. And I actually would have the time. Like, I would, if I know I'm not going to work for 4 or 5 months, like, let's say 4 months. Because, if I outright own the damn truck, then yeah, I might take those first 2 months and be fucking high as a kite. I'd be smoking weed the whole time, maybe do some mushrooms and shit. Be like, you can't do that if you... No, I'm not driving. I'm not going to drive. I don't fucking Jones me about that shit. See, that's another thing about this industry that gets on my fucking nerves. Your time, your private time, is not your fucking time. All this freedom of choice shit you hear people talking about and all that kind of, oh, America the free, the eagle flies. Fuck you, it ain't free. You're only free as long as you got enough money, or you just don't give a shit about having money. It's one of two ways. You're either rich enough to be able to afford your freedom, and it's an awesome version of freedom, or maybe you're so zen and dirt poor that you just don't give a fuck. You're like, bummed enough change. I've done this, by the way. Bummed enough change, and got me a nug or two to smoke, and fuck it, we're good. Go help my buddy work on his garden or some shit. And to tell you the truth, I could go right back to that. If the industry fucks me around, and it's be like, I'm gonna take my giant pile of money in my paid-off house and be like, see you motherfuckers. Gonna go back to being a hippie in a van. And this is the thing about it. I wasn't really a hippie. I'm a woodsman, but it's easy to say dirty hippie in a van. But I don't know. It's weird when you realize that you don't have the time to party, and you're starting to get used to it. You're like, I get back and I'm like, cool, fucking Star Trek's on. I'm good with that. I'll watch some Little House, play little video games, take the dog for a nice long walk, and fucking watch some Star Trek. And I'm like, oh, you're fucking old. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the Trek, or the Little House for that matter. But I'm just like, I'm good with that. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Anyways, that's a nice long rant. Y'all take it easy.